Hey there. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the Writers Workshop 1 rubric. This is going to be for the character sketch that we submitted last week. This week we are going to be workshopping them together in the discussion forum format. So we will be uploading our character sketch and then our peers are going to workshop them for us. Now, we do have a video floating around out there about how to effectively workshop, and I encourage you guys to review that before we start workshopping. But let's talk about what we're actually doing here in terms of our rubric. What we want to do is early in the week, upload our character sketch as a Word document. Please do not copy and paste it into the forum. We need to have something that our peers can access and download. So by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. at the latest, make sure that you upload your character sketch so that your peers can workshop it for you. And then what we want to do is select one or two peers to actually workshop. We have a minimum number that we can do, but if you've got some time and some interests, you can definitely workshop more than the minimum that we need to do. It's all about helping us all become better and stronger writers, so feel free to support as many of your peers as you want. We do want to make sure that all of our peers are getting workshopped. So if you notice that somebody already has 2 or 3 people who have said they're going to workshop that, why don't you select somebody who doesn't have anybody who's reviewing their work yet? That way we all get an opportunity for some fabulous feedback. So let's take a look at our rubric. What exactly are we looking for to meet the minimum requirements for this assignment? Meet the minimum and go above and beyond, right? Remember that we do have all of our rubrics available in our class, and if you would like me to, I'm more than happy to send you a PDF copy as well. So what exactly are we doing for this workshop? What we're going to do is review and critique our character sketches, okay? So what you want to do is focus not only on, what you liked and what worked, but also on what is not working. So we want to be positive and supportive, but we also want to point to this activity. And the underlying point of this activity is to help us improve our writing skills. So talk about what your peer is doing well, but also talk about what they can do to improve and provide actionable suggestions for that improvement. We are focusing on our character sketches. So try and, as you read through your peer's character sketch, make notes in the margin and, what is your gut reaction to this character? Do they feel complete? Do they feel multidimensional? Are they more than just a character archetype? And consider how can your peer improve and add depth to that character. Even if the character sketch is spectacular, there's always room for improvement. So really dig deep and give your peers some constructive criticism and actionable suggestions for improvement. The official prompt that we are answering for this, we want to begin by looking at our peer's character sketch that has not received a response yet. Once all initial posts have one response, choose one that has not received 2 pieces of feedback yet. We want to make sure that we're all getting feedback. So again, I urge you to choose somebody who hasn't gotten that feedback yet so that we all have a fair opportunity for feedback. And then as a reviewer, what we want to do is take the time to read the character sketch submission thoroughly. I know that sounds almost patronizing, but take the time to actually read this character sketch. Read it once, read it twice, let it, incubate for a few minutes, and then get back to it. You want to get constructive criticism and good, strong feedback. So return your peer the favor and take the time to actually, consider their writing. Okay. We want to jot down our initial impressions, and I always recommend reading it 2 or 3 times. What you're doing is you're critiquing the piece and not the person. Your goal is to help the author achieve their goal. So keep your personal judgment about the subject matter to yourself. You're not judging the person or the writing genre. You are assessing their effectiveness as a writer. Okay. We want to do more than just a simple overview. Like, we're looking at our characters, right? We're looking at character sketches. So we want to make sure that we focus our critique on the strengths of the character sketch. What works well, what doesn't work well, and provide concrete examples. Don't do vagueness. Don't be like, yeah, your character sounds really cool. Why specifically do they sound really cool? What is working, and what do we need actionable suggestions for? There, I'll get to that in a second. As the person who is getting reviewed, as the author, you need to be open to the criticism and the constructive suggestions. I know it's really, really hard to get feedback on something that we've worked on. Something, writing is so much putting ourselves into our worlds and our characters. It can be hard to hear that feedback, but be open to it. And remember, as we talked about in the How to Effectively workshop video, these are suggestions. They're not concrete rules that you have to change. These are, as readers, what your peers would like to see, with a little bit more clarity or a little bit more depth. But ultimately, these characters are yours, and you do with them as you like. But I do strongly recommend that you consider the suggestions for improvement. This is all meant to help us improve our writing. We want to shy away from the defense of my characters are absolutely perfect. We all have room for improvement, so be open for improvements. Specifically, what we're doing with this assignment, as the author, upload your piece by Thursday, as we mentioned. As the person who is doing the workshop review, what you need to do is actually download that Word document onto your computer or device. Leave inline comments as you read through it, the little comments that show up on the right of the page. And then also write up a paragraph summary of your response. So there's two very specific steps that we need to do in order to have full credit. Offer the line-by-line comments within your peer's paper, and then also offer them a summary paragraph as well. Is there a specific number of how many comments we need to provide? Typically 2 to 3 to 4 per page is a good guideline. You don't need to comment necessarily on the spelling and the structure. We are more concerned about the effectiveness of the content. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual rubric and what critical elements we need to hit here. Let's get it going. There we go. All right, we are going to be assessed on our analysis and evaluation. Are you accurately applying the course concepts to the analysis of this piece, and are you using specific examples from that piece? So are you looking at the character in terms of its effectiveness? Are you evaluating what they're doing well, and are you providing specific examples? The next critical element that we're looking at is actionable suggestions. Are you, in addition to being supportive and, hey, you're doing awesome, are you offering them actionable suggestions, specific suggestions that they can do to strengthen their character sketch? The next thing that we're looking at is our clarity and mechanics of our writing. Are we expressing ourselves as competent and confident writers using good grammar, all that kind of stuff? And then the last element that we're looking at is engagement. Are you meeting the minimum requirements for this assignment? Have you provided critiques for at least 2 of your classmates? So you need to provide critiques for 2 of your classmates, but you're totally welcome to do more. So in a nutshell, what are we doing here? We're taking a look at our peers' character sketches, and we're telling them what works and what actionable suggestions they could use to improve their writing. We're downloading a copy of that character sketch on our device and offering inline commentary as well as a summary of our response to their character sketch. I know that workshopping can be intimidating both as the writer and the person who's doing the review, but just approach it with how you would like to get feedback. You want to be told that you're doing great, but you also likely want to know where you can improve. That's why we're taking this class, right? To improve our writing. So approach the workshops that way and know that these are not personal attacks. They are suggestions for how we can improve ourselves as a writer. If you have any questions about this assignment or any of our assignments, you know how to hit me up. We can chat, text, we can do a phone call, we can do a Zoom meeting, and we can talk about this in the discussion forums as well. You got this.